Good afternoon, everyone. So I think this is going to be a bit of challenge for the panel in the afternoon after lunch. And in this session, we have four speakers. So I'd like to invite all of them on the stage now. Okay, so we were talking about how to develop and build manpower to support Thai space industry. We have been talking about the market, the technology, financial, but the most important thing is about what about the future? Who will run, who will sell all this technology, who use that? So it's about people and how to develop them. And before I start the first question, I would like our speaker to shortly introduce yourself about this topic.
Yeah, I'm Yotchanan Wongsawat, the Vice President for Research of Mahidol Universities, and I'm also taking care of some of the innovation of the university. So we are a medical-oriented university with 13 hospitals. And you might wonder why we get involved with space. So normally like space, biology, and material science.
Yes, I am Sermsak Yuyen, the Dean of International Academy of Aviation Industry, King Mongkut Institute of Technology, Lakabang. I'm doing with the Dean, we have launched the Aerospace Engineering Program and Aeronautical Engineering Program. So we will give some information to support our manpower to the space in Thailand.
Hi, my name is Viggo Hansen, and I'm a lecturer at the Chulalongkorn International School of Engineering Aeronautics Department, and I teach on CAD technology and rocket propulsion, as well as assist with the aeronautics lab, and I'm also involved with the Chulalongkorn High Altitude Research Club, which is effectively their student rocket team.
Hello, my name is Momin Valley. I am a third-year aerospace engineering from International School of Engineering, Chulalongkorn University. Currently, I'm the president of Chulalongkorn University High Altitude Research Club. So it's a club that focuses on rocket development and building engineers for the industry.
Thank you. So we have a mix of experts in academic who grooming students and also students who be our future. So I want to start by asking about what would be your biggest obstacle to develop, or in terms of is there any specific skill gap that you see to build talent for space, or in terms of Thai space industry in the future?
If you think about the space technology, normally it's like science, it's engineer, maybe it's some policy. So that means it's interdisciplinary, it's multidisciplinary, and also it's transdisciplinary. But the obstacle is we have like faculty of engineering, faculty of science, and we also have the job that would be fixed, like scientists in space or like engineers. So I think that kind of thing would be the obstacle, because when you want to do R&D, just only electronics not enough, like mechanics not enough. You might need to know like 3/4 of the science, but you cannot find that. You can be electronic engineers, but you also actually need to learn more in some other spectrum, and then you cannot get the job. And as well, job market, we don't have R&D that much in the countries. So how can you go to NASA, or how can you go to some other country? I think that would be another obstacle. English, the language barrier. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, for me, if we look 4 years ago, when we opened the new program, the Aerospace Engineering Program, the most asked question is about what the job that they can do after graduate aerospace engineering. That is a really big question. So we at that time, I just explained to the parent that aerospace engineering in a view, we are not focusing only the satellite, but in aerospace engineering application, for example, unmanned aircraft vehicle, that they also use the aerospace technology, and also any related knowledge that we can use, and they can use that knowledge to do their job. And the most important, as the university level, we can have the connection with other university on around the world. But most of the university in Thailand, we are ranking not so high, especially my university, we are not high ranking. Maybe that one is an obstacle, but we try to focus on the passion or ability of our students, that they really want to do their research or their project that related to the most famous university, so that one can help to solve this problem.
Okay, so kind of building on the first response there, kind of what I heard from that, or interpreted a different way, is we need more systems engineering training. And that's a different type of training than just a conventional engineer. And you can only learn that, you cannot teach that by just talking about it. You have to have students go through and do these projects, kind of like the rocket project and so forth. And these programs take a lot of expertise and typically take volunteers from industry, or as well as, we do this in our department. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. As a student and working in the club, I feel that the obstacle that I face, and as a whole club faces, there are big gaps in this industry. Not only between students' teams, that there are gaps that we are not connected, and also the gaps between students and private sector and government. So students don't really know what we are going to do this for, and while the private sector and the government are doing a good job on their work, we are not going in we don't have the diverging plans in the future how to develop this industry together.
Yeah, so when I heard of you mention the gap, there are so many areas that we can zoom in. I want to know a little bit from Vico on the system engineer, because this is a bit new to Thai when you're talking about system engineer, because we do have many engineering discipline, but what exactly that you think that is different from the existing program? And I think that could be the gap that we might need to understand more before find the way to address it.
Yeah, so there was a great talk recently by Flow Engineering, where they bring up the 5 levels of systems engineering and iterative systems development. And the first level is the old style hierarchical organizations, whereas the highest level would be data-driven, data-connected organizations where requirements are being revised and traced in real time in an interconnected system versus just kind of the traditional top-down, slow, black box approach. And so this requires a different type of engineer, and at SpaceX they address this by saying, well, basically every engineer is a systems engineer. And this requires a lot of trust within your team, and as well as different software tools and different types of thinking.
Okay, I see. So I wanted to ask Dr. Samsak, what kind of program or initiative that you already have and you want to highlight that provide a Thai workforce the necessary skill?
Yes, for aerospace engineering, actually, the aerospace engineering is come before the program is start. That means once we know that now the aerospace engineering, they should study in some certain subject. But for in our country, we didn't have much company that doing about the space, but we can have the connection with the foreign company or foreign university. So the program that we start, we try to combine the knowledge, not only the satellite, but also the application of the technology from the satellite. If we are looking at the value, the satellite, like for example, TOS2 is about 1,000 million baht to launch it. But the business by what we call the cloud business from that satellite is much more value. So the program that we design our students to know is to how to make the application or apply that useful of the satellite. For example, how to we make the good geometry, the good prediction or forecast for the transplant. So it is included in the new program. And for KMITL, we also similar to other university, we allow the student to do the projects in the first year that they can combine with their friends in other faculty or other program to utilize the knowledge or integrate their knowledge. So they have 4 years to know each people in different, not only university, but also different country. Then within 4 years, they can have enough knowledge to compete with other countries like that. Yes.
Any other one to add on?
Yeah, in terms of university, so I agree with that. The key is one, we would like to convince the student to study something. They want to make money after undergraduate, not the PhD. When you make them do some research, they would ask like they're not the professor, so why do I need to learn or doing some like deep research? Okay. So we try to do the incubator as well. Okay. With some of these things, we try to increase some entrepreneurship inside the student mindset. Okay. You don't even need to build your own startup, but you can actually some part of the startup company, like software engineering, or you fix some of the electronic or some hardware. And right now the digital twin kind of like really famous. How can you make some of the sensor or something that you would like to digitize, and you add value to some of the company, and then you pitch for the VCs or the startup company. Yeah, so that kind of thing we try to combine with some of the educational program. Yeah.
Anything from Miko?
Yeah, I would just add that the rocket programs have been instrumental in teaching systems engineering and really just giving, you have to fail once, or at least once, to really understand why all that process is necessary.
Okay. And I think as students, as I mentioned, there are gaps between, even in our students as well. There are lots of students who are interested in aerospace engineering in numbers of universities. And I think the platform, the medium that can bring them together is through competition. When I went to the Spaceport Mega Cup, which was the largest starting rocket competition in the US, I met students from all over the world that we are interested in this field. But when I come back to Thailand, there are other teams doing the same things as my team, but we didn't get a chance to talk in the educational session. So the platform or the competition or hackathon that would bring these students together would be a very helpful way that can strengthen the student sector.
I want to ask Moomin a little bit more, since he's still a student. From what you hear or what you experience in university, from not just lecture, but also doing project, doing some startup or even competition in the club, blah, blah, do you feel, is that enough, or do you feel confident to find a job or even your skill? Or I want to hear from your side, because I could be representing from private sector as well, but unfortunately I'm the moderator. Just want to hear, how do you feel, or is there anything that from education side point of view, or maybe you need more than just the program that are already available in the class, or anything else you want to share?
Well, since most students in my club, we are interested, we are like very, very into this technology, so we learn a lot about what the industry is doing. But there are lots of students, especially in my classmates, we study together, but after the class they ask, what are we going to do with this lecture? What can we do with aerodynamics 1? How can they do with it? So I think there are programs that from the private sector that outreach into the students, into a curriculum, but more of like events that can connect students and the goal in the future, like where they can work or where they can do things that are interested in the future would be, there could be more that students would need.
If we look at the bigger picture, not just education sector, but also private sector, and also maybe government sector. This one, Mumi can start first, and the rest could join in. What kind of initiative or collaboration that you wish to see to address this development and make sure that we have enough or capable manpower to feed space industry in the future?
I think the innovation hub or the incubators that join the university, students, researchers, government, and private sector, that students and researchers and industry professionals can work together side by side doing projects, for example, like small satellites or doing rocketry or other space research. It would be helpful not only for students, but for the future in this industry, that there will be more students who become manpower for the space industry.
Anyone want to share?
I add on, that would be very good point. Let's say that I want to build a hospital on Mars. Okay. And can you imagine like the ventilator inside the hospital going to work in Mars? So that would be one thing. Another thing, you need to consume some of the oxygen. If I just inject some vaccine and then you consume less number of oxygen, and how about if I have MIA vaccines and then you make some like resistant to the radiation? Okay. So some kind of this thing we call the gene editing. Okay. And it would actually open a lot of job market. If you think about every product that you use currently inside your house and then you move to the space, what happened? And what happened inside the vehicle? Like you put into the SpaceX. So I want to say that why we so interested in space, even though you work on something, you just bring that to the moon, okay? And then you can have the new innovation. So that's why I say that incubator is something nice, but no one would fund you except the VC. VC would bet for something big. They can fund like 10 company. One success, you get one unicorn. Yeah. No way that normally the big corporate going to invest into some new idea. It's too risky. Yeah. So that's why in terms of Thailand ecosystem, we lack of two things. We lack of some entrepreneur, and also we lack of some angel fund that would invest into some small company during the early stage. Okay. We have the big company want to invest onto the big amount of money. If you have solid product, you come to Thailand, it's good. Okay. But if you have something kind of weird, but no, I don't know, like to success or not, no one going to make the funding onto that project. So I think we need to build more entrepreneur and also build more venture capital that know about some of the space technology.
Very interesting. I would haven't thought that the VC part or entrepreneur part would play a role in terms of build or support developing future talents for space industry. But you're right. I agree that we need smaller fund to give a chance for students to try, to learn, to fail. And that would be one way to
if you
develop
imagine
it.
like Elon Musk stay in Thailand, no SpaceX at all. But
Okay.
he go to the US, so he have VC fund. And you can see that called ecosystem. right? If you just stay in your country, you have knowledge. But if you in the wrong position, wrong like spatial domain, not success. Okay.
Yes, I agree with him. Actually, many researchers in Thailand, especially also in my university, I know many people, like for example, she can do the functional tree, functional food. She transplant the fruit, she puts some special like more vitamin, more protein in the same amount of the tree. And that tree can transplant in the certain severe environment. But she tried to do it more big or bigger, but it needs fun. It needs someone to fun to see the project to do. But now she can do only the small one. But I try to promote her, try to submit this kind of the project to the international funding. So the funding is one of the things that many of the researchers want to support. As well as the student, we encourage students to do the projects in the first year. But some project, like yesterday, one group of students asked me to make the rocket that run by oxygen. And to make this system, it takes $1 million to do that, just only to test the small rocket. So who will fund this one? I still wonder about that.
Yeah, I hear you that funding money is very important. I want to challenge what else besides money or funding that will help developing the right skill.
Yeah, so just some feedback on that. So there are lots of projects and lots of things that need to be done that are not necessarily going to generate enough money to ever satisfy a VC or should ever receive VC funding. So if we make that distinction for a moment. So the model that I have found to be very effective and is continuing to be used by the UW sounding rocket team from where I graduated in the University of Washington is sort of a hybrid club class model. So the reason you don't want to do everything through a class is that you don't have corporate memory or continuity between semesters, and a lot of stuff tends to get thrown out or lost. And so with a hybrid club and class model, you have an academic basis for it coming from the class, and then you have the continuity and fundraising and student governance of the club. And the other thing that I would add is that the most effective method is to really just let the students govern themselves.
Mumin, anything you want to add on this point? No? Okay. So, yeah, that's what to open up the floor in case you have any questions, because I know that to develop and build manpower to support Thai space industry is not just about one skill or money. We need collaboration, not just private sector or education, but also from government. Unfortunately, we don't have any representative from the government side to be on this stage to share their view. So, yeah, we have one question: are AI and generative AI education application being considered and developed for education in Thai space industry? Anyone you want to take this?
We talk about the LLM anyway, okay. But normally the multimodal one would be the key. So for example, if you want to fix something really difficult, okay, generative AI, that would be trustful regarding some of the space technology. I think that would be so important. And also some of the digital twin, virtual reality or something. We need the expert actually, but we cannot bring them on time. Okay. You think about the airplane, get some like mechanism like failure. Normally we need to wait until the expert actually come. But normally the like Boeing or either Airbus, they kind of remote, but let someone actually see the real engine. Expert would be in another area. And think about generative AI actually can help some kind of this issue as well. Okay. And we also working on something another way. Okay. We try to bring some existing thing into the space, but think about something in the space that inspire normal people in the country. So we also bring some of the cap of the astronaut, but now we do the brain-computer interface. So we can monitor the brain in real time. So we bring that for the medicine, like we do some of the stroke analysis, autism spectrum for the children trainings, unconscious inside the industry. That would be a lot of chemistry. And also we bring to the car, avoid the accident, like sleep alarm system inside the car accident. All of them actually inspired from some of the cap of the astronaut.
Okay. Before we wrap up, I just think of one thing that we can do to develop and build manpower. It's not about money, but about inspiration. Like at the moment, I know that a number of students in the workshop, they do some case study, and that is one way to inspire or open possibility for students to see, like, okay, this is the future. This is something that possible, and with that inspiration, then they will have will trigger the passion. They want to learn more, and that would be another way. So it's not going to be like just pushing in terms of the program, the startup, the fund, the competition, but on the other way around, like they experience this workshop, and they think this is something I want to do. I want to explore more, and yeah, that's my 2 cents. And I would like to thank you all speaker. Thank you for this session. Thank you.